Everyone, this is Alex Bullisbuck, your managing advisor, founder, and partner here at Cottage Hill Capital. Today, we're going to be discussing a topic that we get a lot of questions on, and we've helped a tremendous amount of professionals navigate. It's RSUs, or restricted stock units, and how they affect one's overall financial planning. Now, for many professionals today, equity is an important part of their compensation, whether it's through the restricted stock units that we mentioned, or stock options, or other forms of company equity. These awards have become increasingly common across multiple industries and job levels. However, with this type of compensation comes a certain degree of complexity. Understanding the role that equity compensation plays in a broader financial plan while managing risk is essential for building one's wealth. These challenges exist whether you work for a small startup or a larger publicly traded company. Now, for those who receive meaningful portions of their compensation in company stock, getting these decisions right can make a real difference in financial outcomes. Now, over the next couple minutes, we're going to be discussing some of the highlights and happy to carry the conversation further past this video if there are any questions. In the mid-20th century, equity was primarily reserved for top executives, the C-suite. This changed during the dot-com era in the 1990s when stock options became a key recruiting tool, and in some cases still is, for startups and larger tech companies alike that have limited cash but fast-growing valuations. When the bubble burst in the early 2000s, many of these options became worth very little. This experience prompted a shift in how companies structure equity compensation. Tech giants began favoring restricted stock units, or RSUs, because they retain value even when stock prices decline. Without a proper financial planning framework, some investors view equity compensation as worth nothing when it's unvested or if there is not a public market for these shares. While this perspective is understandable, the reality is that all types of equity likely have value, and it should be reflected in one's financial plan. On the other hand, some employees at high growth private firms might be tempted to value their equity based upon the most recent funding round. Now, this can be equally problematic since private company valuations can be uncertain. A more balanced approach is to recognize that equity compensation represents real value, but with important caveats based on uncertainty and illiquidity. Beyond valuation, the most important consideration for a portfolio is what's known as concentration risk. This refers to having too much of your wealth tied into a single investment or, in this case, your company's stock. The risk is enhanced by the fact that both your income and your investment portfolio are dependent on the same company's success. As this chart shows, a portfolio risk and reward can vary slightly based upon how concentrated your holdings are. So what can you do about it? Several strategies are available to help manage concentration risk. These include strategies such as staged selling, planning ahead of large tax events, and maintaining enough cash with a liquidity sleeve. The key takeaway here is that the successful management of your equity compensation requires looking at how it fits into your broader financial planning picture. The goal is to create a comprehensive financial plan that takes into consideration and advantage of the equity that you're accruing from your compensation while ensuring your overall portfolio is aligned with your long-term goals. Financial planning is the number one thing that we rely upon here at Cottage Hill Capital to create the most informed recommendations for our clients. And RSUs are a huge piece of that conversation when they make up a considerably sizable amount of our clients' compensation. So as things progress, we're happy to have more conversations with anybody looking to learn more about their current plan or if they're looking to update their financial plan with their RSU vesting schedules and create those strategies that we mentioned. Happy to help. Again, this is Alex Bullisbach, your managing advisor, founder, and partner here at Cottage Hill Capital. We'll see you soon.